just setting up Act 1 of the dungeon campaign, and my starting resources is none, starting town buildings none, but my bonus that I chose was Search the Artifact Deck 4, which the options were Equestrian's Gloves, Pendant of Second Sight, Targe of the Rampaging Ogre, and Vial of Lifeblood. I chose the Equestrian's Gloves. Some special rules for this scenario is I cannot go beyond experience level 4, I cannot build gold tier dwellings, and I cannot recruit using my town's buildings or produce resources until I have conquered a town. I cannot recruit a second hero, and Comham does not move, and Prayuet moves after your turn ends. You gain nothing from visiting obelisks, and all borders on your dungeon starting map tile are ignored. Also, who named this guy? Come on. Camham? Kaomham? I don't know. To win, I must defeat both enemy heroes, Camham and Prayuet. And I lose if I fail if I lose one combat encounter. So, neutral units are deadly. I have 11 rounds to achieve victory. My hero is going to be Muter, or Mutare, or Mute Air. So, this is who I am, and I have Tactics as a starting ability. Oh boy. I think I am set up and ready to go. So, before I begin, a few videos ago I was asked what sleeves I use for my games, and I just get the cheap option off of Amazon. Obviously, these 4x6s are for something else, Marvel Crisis Protocols characters. And I use the penny sleeves. I use regular card size sleeves. I believe they're meant more for protection and display of baseball cards and hockey cards and all that kind of stuff. But I use them for my games because 1,000 of them is like $20 on Amazon. And I use all of my games with cards I try to keep sleeved. So I go through a lot, and I feel like it's a lot easier to throw a used-up sleeve away than it is to buy a whole new game just to replace a card that got somebody's pizza grease all over it. But I digress. It's time for some Heroes of Might and Magic. Which, if you have not played Marvel Crisis Protocol, it's a fun game. The week must fall. The evening was dark and gloomy, or maybe it was morning. Or noon. Telling time in the deeper levels of the caverns was always difficult to say the least, even for nigh-on denizens. Muter was writing in her diary, a war diary, to be precise. Ordwald, I find the name distasteful. This old man has held rich nigh-on lands given to him by a much greater father. He has squandered his time and done little to earn his stature. I have stood in the shadow and by his borders too long. Muter gave the sentences a thoughtful look as she reassigned her quill to a particularly hard battle with some leftover mutton between her teeth. Seemingly satisfied with the results, she nodded and closed her diary with a loud smack. "Ugh!" A lone shriek escaped the mouth of a troglodyte who served her a table a moment ago. Muter just narrowed her eyes a bit, at which he immediately escaped her sight. Having waved at a small squadron of her closest soldiers to follow, she hurried to her horse, mounted it in one swift move, and went into a full gallop. She did not bother to slow down, to give orders and information. Her words boomed in the caverns. "My spies have brought news. 2 young and hungry lords have launched near simultaneous attacks on Ordwald. Surprisingly, they are doing well." "Maybe they are that strong," proposed one of her generals, trying to match her pace. "A year ago, he would have easily beat off their attacks. Ordwald must have lost his edge. For them to do so well," she continued, ignoring the comment. "Shouldn't we gather all of our troops and crush him with a huge army?" suggested another one, his voice trembling with uncertainty. "A small force is enough. Time is of the essence. We have patiently waited for Ordwald to stumble before making our move. Last week, Ordwald slipped. Time to take him down." All right, hand limit is 4. I have the Equestrian Gloves as my starting bonus, so I only draw these 3, and we begin. I have nothing else until I get to the town, so we are going to first mark off round 1, and these are all level 3 encounters, which I'm playing on normal. That's going to be 2 bronze and a silver tier. Well, let's head in. Okay, I am set up. We are going to face... That's 2 cards. Well, troglodytes and peasants. 6, 3. And, well, that's 2 as well. See, those cheap sleeves. The genies were on the bottom. So, demons. So, in order of initiative. Okay, 6, 6, 3, 6, 4, 5. Okay. I am first. So I'm going to cast Magic Arrow right away on the demons, doing a damage to 8 health. Ugh. Then I'm going to use my knowledge to get Magic Arrow back into my hand. And then I will add my attack card. I have to spend movement points in order to keep this battle going, because I will not be able to wipe all these out in one round. So instead, no, if I defend, that's like a waste. It's not even a guaranteed extra defense. Let's do 1, 2, 3. Harpies are going to attack the peasants at 1 against defense of 0. So the peasants are going to get to retaliate. They should be dead. 1, -1. Okay, so they also have a 0, but they retaliated. And my harpies can return back to where they made the attack from. That's an activation. And now demons are going to go, I guess. They're going to attack the troglodytes at +1. Great. So 4 against defense of 1 is 3. My troglodytes are dead. And we are going to go troglodytes. Going to attack harpies at -1. 1 against defense of 0. 1 damage. And harpies will retaliate at -1. 1 against defense of 1 is nothing. Fantastic. This dungeon stinks. Okay. Evil eyes are going to go, and they're going to shoot the demons. At 0. 3 against defense of 0. Okay. So that's an activation on them. And we will do peasants. We'll attack the harpies at 0. So they do 1 more to the harpies. I have to spend a movement point to make it a new round. Alright. I am going to cast Magic Arrow again, this time on the peasants. Then I'm going to give my harpies +1 attack. They are going to go here. And with a base of 3... -1 is 2. They do 2 damage. Okay. Demons retaliate. With a base attack of 3. They kill my harpies. And then that's a retaliation from them. They activate. They go attack my evil eyes. At +1, killing me. And I lose. Well, I failed a combat encounter and did all this setup for nothing. I'm going to keep the loss on record because now so far I've failed as tower and dungeon. I will revisit them another time, but the dungeon campaign is over before it really even started.